welcome to Learn Golf with Cassie. This is Coach Dad. I'm going to do today some work on the Dan Grieve's pitching using the stance method of A1, A2, A3. We've done some videos before about this, check it out there. But today I'm going to be putting it on the Rapsodo launch monitor to really dial down into those numbers. For A1, using a release 2, what's my carry? For A2, release 2, what's my carry? I'm going to start using this a little bit more methodically on the golf course. I've kind of been doing it by feel rather than by putting the numbers down. So today we're going to use the Rapsodo. I'm going to just remind you before I do that what those three things are. So keep watching. Okay, so I'm going to do this from a slightly different angle because I want you to see face on where my feet are and what's happening with the swing. I'm not going to hit the golf ball at the moment, but I'm going to just talk you through face on what it looks like. So we're working with the 56 at the moment, and we're going to look at the stance. A1 is one club between the heels, and then one ball, one club, and two club heads between the toes. The left foot is going to be flared out, and it's going to be ball, one club, two clubs there. So the stance is really key to this. Stance A2 is going to be a little bit wider, a full club between the heels, two clubs between the middle of the feet, and three between the toes. And stance 3 is going to be 3 for the heels, 4 for the middle of the feet, and 5 for the toes. And there's also the other part that's important to remember is stance 1, we're going to be right down on the grip. Stance 2, we're going to be in the middle of the grip. And stance 3, we're going to be at the end of the grip. So that's going to change. That's going to change the amount of backswing we get with each one. So A1, small, very, very narrow stance on the grip, so it's a shorter club. We'll have a shorter backswing. A2, wider stance, middle of the club, enabling a longer backswing. And number 3, A3, wider still, and at the end of the club, a longer backswing. So the setup is key. It's what's going to determine the distance, but the actual move itself is going to be the same each time. Let's see that. Okay, so A1, one ball between the heels, one club between the middle of the feet, and 2 for the toes. That's our stance. We're going to go down the grip. We're going to do this normal release 2 action. So face up, turning on rotating the left hip, letting the club drop, and rotating the right hip. Sorry, rotating on the right hip, letting the club drop. Club will release underneath. We'll finish the belt release to here, and we'll turn on the left side. So it looks something like this. Elbows connected to the body. And that's exactly what I would expect it to look like. That was, in my mind, that's about 30 yards carry. It doesn't go quite as high because we haven't got so much speed. Okay, so now we're 2 balls wide, 2 clubs wide, 3, we're a little bit wider. Remember, with the release 2, the club is going to be facing at your belly, the handle, not ahead. Now we're in the middle of the grip. Got to make sure everything keeps turning middle of the grip. Okay, nice straight one there. From my line, you can see, you can't see this, but that went, carried about another 8 yards. And then number 3, wider again, the end of the grip now, which enables the backswing to be a bit longer again. Grip at the belt buckle. Coming out nice and soft, but we want to check what that looks like on Rapsodo, and can it be repeated? So can I go onto the course and say, oh, okay, A1 30 yards, A2 40 yards, A3 50 yards, or something like that, and then I can take that to the course. Okay, so from down the line, stance 1, very narrow, down to the butt of the grip, and you'll see the backswing is not going to be so long, and the setup is what's controlling that. And that landed pretty much the same place as it did in my last one. Number 2, widen the stance, just as we did in the first one. Middle of the grip. Got to have nice soft hands, almost like you're not holding the club. You hold too hard, you're either going to hit it and it's come out very, very hot, or you're going to perhaps yank it and shank it. And so number 3, A3, full length of the club. Okay, little postscript now. This is obviously post the practice, but you could see from the data that came up on the Rapsodo that A, it's difficult to repeat it exactly the same each shot, but the averages for the A1, my carry was 24 yards and total 35 yards. With the A2, carry was 31 yards and total was 40, and A3 carry 40, total 48. Now the A3 and the A2 to a certain extent had a little bit of decel on the speed of ball, so the club speed was not equal to the ball speed. It was decelerating a little bit, and so I have to take that into consideration. So when I'm practicing that, I want to make sure it's more of a 1-to-1 ratio. For example, if I'm swinging at 39 miles per hour club speed, I want the ball speed to come out at around 39-40 club speed. So that will also make a little bit of difference to the results. So I'm going to have to hone that in, as would you when you're doing this yourself. But it's a pretty good, starting spot to know that, okay, A1, I'm going to be flying at 25 and it'll be rolling out to about 32, 33. A2 will be flying at 31, 32, it'll be rolling out to about 36, about 40. And A3 flying it around 42, 43 and carrying, and it will continue to about 50 yards. So that's pretty good basis, and I've actually been practicing that on the course in the last few weeks, and I had some pretty good results, some shots that have left me with very makeable putts within 7-8 feet, sometimes closer. And so keep practicing like I will, and then put it onto the course, and hopefully that'll help you with your scores. Remember to hit the like button, give us a thumbs up, and make a comment, and hopefully our next video will have Cassie back. Okay, see you next time. Bye bye.